former President Obama says it's because of the policies that his administration implemented, particularly after the Great Recession of 07, 08.
Right.
What do you think of that?
Well, he would have to prove that. I mean, he put in place policies that would do the opposite, right? So if you're going to put in place a number of policies, right? I mean, his so-called stimulus package, which was his major centerpiece economics package for the whole 8 years, did nothing. In fact, it made things worse, right? He said in 6 months the unemployment rate was going to go down to below 8%. Well, the fact is it never got to below 8% for 2 more years. And that had nothing to do with the stimulus package. It's mainly because he stopped doing harm. The stimulus package basically created more debt. It transferred a lot of wealth around, but didn't do anything to expand the economy. Then he went ahead and raised taxes in 2013 on highest income earners, right? He raised top marginal tax rates. He raised capital gains rates. These are not things that any economist, regardless of your stripe, is going to say is a good idea to do when unemployment rates are over 7%, which they were in 2013. So if he's going to say that it's his policies that are, just now taking hold, he'd have to point to which ones and how they are somehow consistent with advancing economic growth. I mean, there are other things I could go into. The Affordable Care Act, which raised costs for business. I mean, we can go down the line.
Lots of regulations.
Lots of regulations. The Paris Climate Accord. That was a huge wet blanket sitting on top of the economy. Businesses were faced with massive costs of complying with that if it ever did go in place. So what are you going to do? Are you going to invest in that environment? No, you're going to sit back and hold on to your money.
So Mr. Obama believes that it's just taken a long time for the actions you just described to take hold, and he believes that's why there's economic growth.
Right.
But then President Trump reacted to that and said, oh, no, that's not the case. What's happening is because of the policies that his administration has enacted. So assess Mr. Trump's argument.
Well, first of all, let me just say that the Democrats and Trump supporters said, well, this recession of 2008 was so deep. Right? It was so deep that it just took a long time to climb out of it. That's something else, has nothing to do grounded in economic reality. There's no economic theory that says the deeper the recession, the harder, the more slowly the economy is going to grow. In fact, historically, that just has not been the case. You would expect actually very fast growth coming out of a very deep recession if you create the right economic environment. That said, I think Trump is right in this case. By and large, he did what. Actually, I wrote a piece in 2009 suggesting that if they want to get out of this recession, what they need to do is lower marginal tax rates, cut corporate tax rates, cut capital gains rates. Do not put in place any CO2 regulations. Right, which is just a massive tax, and so I said all this stuff. If you want to get out, if you want fast growth, so on, that's what you need to do. Trump came in; he pretty much did all that. Right? He must have read my piece.
I'm sure that's it.
He pretty much did all that. Right? He lowered tax rates and taxes overall. He dramatically cut the corporate rate. Now he didn't do anything to capital gains rate, and that's not, I think, because he didn't want to, but because I think he really couldn't in that setting. And this tax cut 2.0 or whatever has some adjustments for capital gains in that. He also pulled out of the Climate Accord, which, again, I cannot emphasize how important that is, because those are major regulations, would amount to a huge tax.